SGC here with a cap. Finally, I have a hairstyle that sort of fits the cap now. Movie review, G.I. Joe Retaliation. So story, what is the story, people? G.I. Joe gets wiped out, and then now they figure out something's wrong with the president, and then they try to take out the president because they need to do the good thing. Yes, that is all the story. Actually, in the trailers, you can tell that there's actually two storylines, because you got Roadblock played by The Rock, and then you got Snake Eyes' view of stuff that happens with Storm Shadow, and yeah, these two merge, and two stories become one. So let's start off with me saying that I actually like G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra, because it was cheesy and sort of like, could I say campy? I don't know. Not so much campy, but cheesy. I really like how they ramped up the G.I. Joe thing. Totally like, yes, this is G.I. Joe. So yeah, I had no expectations for this movie, despite the fact that everyone said it's so much better than the second one. So I sort of had expectations, and I must say, so what did I like about this film? Lady Jane is hot. They're really good with hot girls in this movie, though they lost out to the last one, because the last one had two hot girls, and now we only have one. And Jinx is not attractive. Sorry. So yeah, what did I not like about this film? The whole beginning. G.I. Joe getting wiped out in one bomb run is totally bonkers, because I mean, like, sure, they got bombed and broken up in G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra, but I mean, things will be fixed. They will be fixed, and you should have a base, and you should have generals of G.I. Joe. But no, you have every single G.I. Joe that exists on Earth to be in that desert and get bombed. And then 3 Joes, or 4, fine, 4 survive. Implausible. Totally didn't buy that. So sort of hard to watch the movie and enjoy it with the premise starting like that. And seriously, I'm not even a G.I. Joe fan of like the cartoons or the toys, so I'm just taking it at face value of comparing it to the first film. Keep in mind that for the rest of this review. So yeah, with a crazy, boring beginning, and I mean like, Channing Tatum and The Rock chemistry is totally cool. I loved how they built it up, but I hated how he just died, because that was just like, what's the point of the beginning of the movie when you're just gonna kill this guy off? They could just let him live. Why did they didn't, this is not Avengers where, oh my goodness, one guy died, so we are all now, like, super inspired to fight evil. They're G.I. Joes, they don't need this inspiration. They're not a ragtag team of, like, superheroes. The character Flint is totally useless. Flint and Duke should have switched spots. Flint should have died, Duke should have led the team, and then Roadblock is just there to beat Roadblock. And the Jinx, I mean, if they really, why couldn't they cast an Asian girl? Like, Jinx, that would have been so cool, like, to hold ninja thing. Like, Asian ninjas are Asian. Not to be racist, though, like, Snake Eyes is white, but I just wanted more, like, Asian faces. I mean, Storm Shadow is a Korean, that's pretty cool and all, but, like, can we have a new face of, like, Korean, Japanese people? Like, there's so many. Or just cameo some Asians in the background or not. And then there's, like, the bad guys. Firefly is, like, cool, but like when he's not doing his bomb thing, it's just like, who are you? I mean, Ray Stevenson is pretty cool in Dexter, but not in Firefly. When he fights like The Rock, it's like, dude, you have The Rock and this guy. Who's gonna win? Of course The Rock, but for some reason The Rock has trouble like beating people. And then I'm sort of upset about how much time Cobra Commander is actually on the screen, and that this president played by Zartan is just not exciting, because I mean, he's no guy. Like, he's not menacing. Sure, we know that he's Zartan, but like the face that he carries is not menacing and scary, and I'm like, oh my goodness, Cobra, kill me now! No. There was no like, this is an enemy to be feared. There was none of that. And there's also that crazy like vehicle chase, not even a chase, but like run, I guess, weapon run. That was pretty boring. And I mean, like, Cobra had stuff to fight, and then for some reason The Rock can totally own them just by with that weird thing that Bruce Willis built in his garage. Like, come on. Like, really? Give me a chase scene or make it spectacular that it's like, whoa! Garage thing beats, like, factory-made thing. That would have been nice, but no. Garage thing just totally owns. Like, it's just like, come on. Like, it's not believable. Like, you didn't do much and then things blew up, and how the editing was horrible. Oh, talking about editing. everybody is raging about like how awesome that like mountain scene with like Snake Eyes and all the ninjas are, and I'm like, dude, I am not impressed. You got like guys who's holding their swords, and then the next shot they're not holding their swords, or they're like, why are you not even holding your sword when you're fighting somebody on a side of a mountain? Weapon ready, come on. Or you have your weapon like, I'm gonna cut you now, and then the next scene you're just, nope, you're not cutting anybody with your hands being in. I'm not even gonna talk about RZA being the blind master, because I was just like, I guess I can talk about Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis totally stole scenes. It's like, he's pretty much John McClane in this movie, but called Joe. Like, we didn't need Bruce Willis, really. If they cast another old guy to be Joe, that would have been awesome. Like, I don't know. I don't know who they cast, but there's a lot of old action films. And John McClane is pretty much like his face. Like, any Bruce Willis film is John McClane. That's the default now with John McClane. Like, this Bruce Willis. Though, the craziest part of this movie is the actual, like, attack thing, satellite thing that they have. What's it called? I forgot, but that was Zeus cannon or something. That was pretty cool. I mean, like, how are they going to come back from that repercussion on, like, London? That damage is big, and how are they going to address that? I mean, I hope they address that in the sequel, because, I mean, like, that much damage is pretty crazy. So, yeah, what did I think about G.I. Joe Retaliation? I must say they tried to make it realistic, and it fell through, that it didn't really go well in my taste. I mean, like, G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra was a much more fun film, in my opinion. And Retaliation was just too serious on itself. And at the same time, it was just like, this is not plausible. I don't believe this. Come on. You can't make me stretch my imagination that much for the movie to continue. So, I mean, that's it. I didn't say anything good about this film, but I'm glad that it was a sequel. Because, I mean, G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra was a pretty fun film. And that to have a sequel now, I guess, is good. I hope the third one sort of brings back its like, fun roots and then make it more plausible. Like, don't wipe out G.I. Joe again, because I mean, I swear, if the third one is about like how Rise of the Cobra and then like the death of the Cobra, like for some reason Cobra just disappears. I mean, one biggest thing for me is that there were nobody armed and red shirts for the no red shirts for the Cobra team. That's just too bad. That means there's no like real fight, like real orange shoots. That would be cool. Yeah, from what I read about reviews, I felt that Captain America was a better G.I. Joe film than this, because it was just like, you need the team aspect. The 3-person team doesn't really work, and yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say, man, and YouTube world, is that G.I. Joe Retaliation could have been good, but they failed. Like, no fun factor here, too realistic, and they cut out all the good stuff. I mean, Channing and Rock, that was good stuff, but Channing dies. Ugh. And the 3D didn't build anything for me. 3D is not needed. Don't watch it in 3D. This review is getting long, so that's all for G.I. Joe Retaliation. See ya.